There is so lot of hell amount of things nowadays which has to be taken care of, and you cannot be expert of each and everything. For analysis you need a data, and that data should be very well structured. What should be the future cash flow, what should be the future profit of this company, what should be the future valuation of the company. You take one loan, you just pay off. Once you pay off, there's a need of another loan, and this cycle will goes on, and you will never save any of the amount for the future. The product have four stages. One is ideation, another thing is ideation, after ideation creation. Once it has been created, it is like mature, evolution of the product. Once it has been created, now it will be evolved, and further it is matured.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the FinTalk series. I'm your host Ayush Yadav, and in this episode, we are exploring some financial step and expert insight that can level up your business. So stay tuned because the next few minutes could change your mindset on your business and on your finance. Here me joining once again none other than our most favorite Mr. Rachit Agarwal.
Hi Ayush.
Hi sir, how are you?
I'm great as usual.
So sir, why money plays the most important role in the life of entrepreneurs or the startups?
See, whenever you talk about any business means finance.
Hmm.
So it is very important to have understanding of finance well. So whenever you talk about why blood is important to live,
Hmm.
it is like body cannot survive without blood, and the business cannot survive without finance. So it is very much important for any business to think about finance, talk about finance, and understand finance. Like your body understands your blood, your body live with that, and your body is very much required of that blood. So the same goes with the finance also. Finance is like a blood of the business, and it's therefore important. You cannot run anything without the finance. If you want to buy something, you want to sell something, that you require finance for that. So that's why it is very important.
Okay, sir. So the today topic is usually important to entrepreneurs and startups because, sir, I think most of the entrepreneurs focus on the wealth, focus on the income, but they forget about few expert insights and experts tips because it actually play an important role before starting
Hmm.
any business or the
Hmm.
startups.
Hmm.
So we are just covering the financial tips and the experts insights according to your experience. So
Okay,
should we
great.
start, sir?
Yeah, of course, of course.
Okay. So the first question is, why do you think the first entrepreneurs are prone to making financial mistakes?
See, what happens with the businessman is like we start business first, then we think about it.
Hmm.
Usually, it's the case with the most entrepreneurs. And when we talk about the earlier traditional business, it has been done in this same manner. We used to think that the consumption of the basic necessity is the business.
Hmm.
Like example, if you talk about the grains, if we talk about the rices, pulses, and all that thing, cloth. If you talk about food, cloth, and house, these are the basic necessities
Basic
which
needs.
was there. And whenever we talk about business, they will think about these things only. Other than this is a luxury. So nowadays, when we think about a business is much more than that. It's been it's been now large scale. Usually, it has to be inside the village earlier. It's been very limited factories, very limited industries. Now it's been a consumption based economy, and where we talk about consumption based economy, it's been very important that we understand how the consumption has been done. And when we consumption is done, you need all the structure for the business. All the structure means you need how the operations will run, how the sales will be done, what will be the marketing strategy, how your finances will be go along with this, how you will get into the market, how you penetrate into a market, what will be your HR policies. So whenever you are starting any business, you need all of this to be very very precise, very very structured, and strategically planned. So if you don't have these things in your control, it will tend to happen that you will find some mistake in your business, and you will fall down on those bases. So it is very much important that you do all the things which is required from your side, that to do business only. And apart from this, you find a strategist or consultant for those things which is required from an outside world. For example, I always is a die hard fan of one book, Who Not How, by Dan
Hmm.
Sullivan. That is a book which is life changing book for the businessmen. That book focuses on one thing, certain thing, that do whatever you are expert in, and apart from those, give those things which where you are not expert to those who are expert in that. So whenever I talk about experts, for financial consultancy, financial expert; for marketing consultancy, marketing expert; for sales consultancy, sales expert; for HR consultancy, HR expert. This is what is required for as a business entrepreneur. Yeah, I believe in the starting it is very much difficult to have cost for those things, but once you grow up, once you uh, get above certain limit, you
Mm-hmm.
have to think about it and you have to strategize it. And before that, if you are thinking about, like, as a business owner, how should I go if I don't have those professionals with us? So then the basic thing you can do with along with those things, you go to the consultant, take a particular consultancy regarding finance. You can take the consultancy on an hourly basis
Mm-hmm.
for a particular project, also for the particular product also. So you take a particular consultancy from a financial consultant in terms of financial, like CA or whatever you think like. And when you talk about your marketing study, outsource it to some outsource marketing strategist. That is a easy cost. You don't have to have your own team. See, for example, if 1 hour is required, you don't need your full-time employee on this, on that particular thing. So you can do one thing, you can outsource that thing to any professional company. They will do it for them, and they will also justify their cost because they need business from you. So I believe financial consultancy, marketing consultancy, and going with the experts is the most important thing for the business entrepreneurs nowadays, because you cannot be an expert of each and everything. And if you're not an expert, how can you
Correct.
pitch in this?
Mm. So, sir, according to your experience, how usually mistake occur? Means is any entrepreneur is facing lack of uh, financial knowledge or lack of management.
See, what happens, Ayush, usually 99, 90, I believe 95, more than 95% people doesn't know about finance,
Mm-hmm.
usually. I'm not saying it is the case with each and every consumer, each and every businessman. It is the case with 95% of the business owners. The reason behind is there have been so lot of hell amount of things nowadays which has to be taken care of, and you cannot be expert of each and everything. See, uh, if the business owner is 100% have a control on his product. For example,
Mm,
he thinks he is selling product. The most important thing in the business is product. So he
mm,
thinks the most important thing, which is product, I do have control on it, but I don't know how the money will come and how the money will go. So he thinks if the product is good, it will sell in the market. And for example, the costing is 100 rupees, I will sell it at 125, I will get 25 profit. But how to manage this 100 rupees, how to manage this 125, how you will record in your books whether you are getting that 25 or not, that has to be determined by financial planning and financial structuring. So how you will do that? So that is the case where most of the business owners lapse. And it is not that they don't do their best for that, but they don't have the knowledge for this. You cannot have the knowledge of each and everything. You can have the knowledge of product, but you cannot have the knowledge for sales and marketing also, HR also, finance also. Yeah, I do have the knowledge of product, how to make that product. And if some may be knowing how to sell that product, some may be knowing how to purchase the raw material for that. So it may be possible that they may know the financial part of it, but there are certain cases, most of them are doesn't know about the finance, and that's the case where they lapse. But some of them know well. I have seen some of them, some of the professional CAs doing a great business. One of the example is leading startup is Boat. The owner of that is CA.
mm,
We all know C. Aman Gupta.
uh,
So those do have the financial knowledge. They will get an added advantage over the others. So if you don't have that financial knowledge, appoint some person on the board as a which have the financial knowledge, because they can take you more than the person who don't have the financial knowledge, because you will get the valuation fast, you will get the investors fast, you will maintain your diligence well. So of course the financial knowledge will help you to leverage your returns well, you to leverage your company well. And that is the case with most of the CAs work, having a ownership in those companies. Like one of them is also Insurance Dekho.
mm.
The co-founder Ankit Agarwal, C. Ankit Agarwal is there. So I believe this financial knowledge is helping them. One of the leading example is Kumar Mangalam Birla. we all know Birla Group, and
Yeah.
he's the MD of that company, CMD of the
Hmm.
company. So he's CA, and he's a rank holder in financial world
Hmm.
in CA. So that helps them. That helps them because to take the financial decisions, you do have the financial knowledge. So I don't. I will not say go and do CA and then do business. It is not that so.
Hmm.
But you can of course appoint someone. You can of course have a consultant on board who can help you out and who can have a good amount of value addition in your business.
So, sir, you have explained about a product-based company. If we shift our focus to service-based, we have seen nowadays many of the client can't communicate with the employees properly. So, what are the financial mistakes according to the service-based business?
See, usually I believe nowadays no business is product based. 100% all the businesses are product service based.
Hmm.
If you are not service based, you will not be able to survive in this country where the Amazon is even giving you each and every track of your order,
Yeah.
each and every thing about your order, each and every service about your order, and you are if you're not giving the services, then you will not be able to survive. The same lies with the financial world. If you are thinking that you want to sell any product and you are not getting the financial updation as and when, see for example, if the transaction has been done on current current time for current date and you're sending your bill after 8 days, whether they will you will get the prompt payment, whether you will be regarded as a best service company.
Hmm.
No. So it has to be generated on time in a real time world. Even eBay will is one of the example of it, and so many of the things. So if your books are not in real time in align with the current scenario, which is service based company, and your finance is not aligned with your service based company, then certainly you will not able to leverage those things which the other companies will able to do, and you will certainly die after some time. So it is very much required to have your control and on real time basis on your finances, as well as your finances should be in alignment with the services you provide.
Okay. So, sir, according to you, what are the most common financial mistake that first-time entrepreneur make?
See, usually I've seen what happens with the entrepreneurs is that what they do now, they certainly doesn't have the financial we say financial analytics in with them.
Hmm.
And why they don't have the financial analytics, I've seen they don't have the structure.
Hmm.
Most people think that people could not analyze the things, but the thing is, for analysis you need a data, and that data should be very well structured. If the data is not well structured, the data is a waste data. And most of the companies I've seen, the most of the companies makes mistakes. They talk about only historical data.
Hmm.
Wow, the transaction which has already been done, it has done, it has gone, it has passed, the profit has been earned. You are just recording and analyzing and computing those profits. They have nothing to do with the future profit. So most companies doesn't talk about the future profits. Most companies don't talk about the future cash flow management. What should be the future cash flow? What should be the future profit of this company? What should be the future valuation of the company? So these are the mistakes which commonly businessmen do, and some of them I have seen that they are not even concerned about the finance part. They think that whenever it comes, that is not our duty. Accounts is the most I say most light department, most like I'm sorry, it is most what we say,
Important.
most non-important thing in the life of the business owners.
Hmm.
It is like they don't value those things which is in the account. The account is a useless thing for the business owners. That is the it is ठीक है, additional में चाहिए तो हो जाएगा, but it is not the mandatory thing for them. And I believe if the person is treating finance as the most important thing in their business, they will grow like anything. They will grow like anything. You have seen Shark Tank. If you have been watching the episodes of Shark Tank, you've been seeing that these sharks just ask for the data,
Yeah.
and you do have the control on your data. You can
Hmm.
put that data well, and you whatever they're asking, you can do it by themselves. So I believe if you do have the control on your data, and if you are working well with your data and with your accounts and finance, you will certainly do well. And they will always ask, what is your customer acquisition cost, what is your finance cost, what is your administration cost. Give the breakup of your cost. So when they are asking, so whenever they are asking about the profits, whenever they are asking about the customer acquisition cost, whenever they are asking about the revenue of the company, you when you know, they are asking, they are not the fools who are investing in your business,
Hmm.
and you are not taking care of these things in your business. So these are the common mistakes you are making with your business. Even they are not even concerned about the GST returns file or not, company returns file or not, ROC file or not. So do you think you will going to give create a large scale company, or a company which will be going to be a unicorn company? No, of course not. You have to do it at any point of time. So when you are waiting, if you are doing it after 2 years, you will certainly yeah, lose that 2 years for your growth.
Hmm.
So as a financial advisor, or as a consultant, I will say only one thing for all the business owners: take care of your finance from the first day when you start your business, and do it well. Do it well, make it a priority. Like you, selling is a priority, finance is also a priority.
So, sir, moving on the next question. Can you explain why over-investing in early stage can harm the business?
See, it happens like there's been one famous quote: until you figure out what's working for you, stay small. So if you know, one of the very famous investor always says that until you figured out what's working for you, you
Yeah.
should stay small.
Hmm.
Because see, for whatever you are losing, it's small
Hmm.
until you're figured out. If it's working for you, then you can go for investing.
Correct.
So ultimately, over spending in an early stage can lead to massive damage, just because you don't know whether it will work for you, whether you will generate this profit, whether this business is scalable or not. It You have not figured out. Once you have figured out, yeah, then you can go open hearted. Then you will go to investors and you can say that this is working for us, this is the future, this is what we can achieve in this point of time and this period of time. So I believe that's why it's been always said that overspending, over investing in the early stage can lead to a massive damage, massive disruption. So I believe you should stay small
Hmm.
until you have figured out what's working for you.
Okay, sir. Sir, so when we can start investment?
See, it's like investment is, I always say, whenever you start earning, you should start investing.
Hmm.
Because see, the lifespan of earning is limited. You cannot earn whole of the life until you have figured out how you do that. So in your early stages, your hard work will give you the earnings,
Hmm.
and in the later stage, your money will give you the earnings.
Correct.
So until you figured out how your money can give you the earnings, you should stay invested. Whatever may be the earnings, for example, you start with 50,000 rupees, your earnings is 50,000, 20,000, 10,000, whatever it may be. You start from the very day you start earning, whatever it may be amount, just 25% of your earning, that's 2,500. You can start from that day. And once you reach, for example, 5 lakh rupees per month, then you can invest 1 lakh 25,000, 1 lakh 50,000 per month. So according to your income, you should start from the very beginning. You should, one thing will happen, your capital creation will start. And another thing what will happen is, you will not be taking loans, because
Hmm.
once you get the cult or habit of investing na,
Yeah.
you will not never take a loan from the market just for the unpurposeful things, just for the purpose of your passions or consumption. You will not take the loan. So that's the reason you should start investing in the very early stage, so that you don't get into the vicious circle of loan. What happens with the loan now? You take one loan, you just pay off, pay off, pay off. Once you pay off, there's a need of another loan, and this cycle will goes on, and you will never save any of the amount for the future. So I believe you should start investing once you start earning.
Okay. So, sir, what advice do you give to an entrepreneur if, for example, he has a good amount of wealth and he want to invest? So he should start small or invest in a large amount of lot.
See, I believe whatever is aligned with your business. One
Hmm.
one thing is, whatever is aligned with your business as an entrepreneur, you should invest in that. Another part is, there's basic thing in your personal life.
Hmm.
Um, you should keep your personal ambitions separate and business ambitions separate,
Exactly.
and you should plan like that. You should be drawing a regular amount from the business to keep your personal finances intact.
Hmm.
I always talk about 4 account system and 6 account system.
Hmm.
So 4 account system says there should be, whenever you maintain a business account, there should be receipt collection account, another should be payment account, third one should be a reserve account, cash reserve account, and fourth one is fixed expenses account. There's two types of expenses. One is variable expenses, another one is fixed expenses, and one is collection account. So whatever money is coming, it should be go into collection account. Whatever payment in a fixed nature, for example, 5 lakh rupees month per month is a fixed expenses. It should go into fixed expenses, and whatever is the remaining part of it in that variable expenses should be paid off, and a certain amount, for example, you decide that I have to keep aside 10% of the revenue on a monthly basis, so that is a cash reserve account. Out of that cash reserve, you just invest for the business purpose, for example, business expansion, business future, whatever it may be required. And when it comes to your personal finances, I will say the same. You just maintain a separate amount of bucket for that. You take out your salary or whatever earning it from your business, and you maintain same one for the current expenses. See, for
Hmm.
example, your monthly expenses 50,000, you draw 1 lakh rupees per month. 50,000 set aside for current expenses. Then you, out of remaining 50,000, you just reserve those amount for children planning, for example, children education, children marriage, your future house, and one should be kept for retirement planning, the amount which should be created for the wealth purpose, which will create such amount of wealth which can give you the same lifestyle which you are living right now. So the wealth should be planned in this manner. If it is planned in this manner, it will certainly give you financial freedom in the coming times.
Okay, nicely explained, sir. It will definitely help most of the entrepreneurs who are just thinking or thinking for investing in the stocks or the shares.
Yeah,
So, moving on the next question. How does a casual approach to a record keeping and accounting affect a new business?
come again.
How does a casual approach to record keeping and accounting affect new business?
See, in the new business, it's very important to determine whether you are earning anything about in particular product or not. Why? Say, for example, you started with 4 products,
Hmm.
and you just didn't maintain your books well, and you capitalize the cost, those costs which has been incurred in these 4 products in a single account.
Yeah.
Now, what will happen? You cannot determine the actual GP earned in particular product. For example, product A, product B, product C, product D. 4 products are there,
Hmm.
and you have not made the cost center of all the 4 products.
Huh.
Now you just analyze the company GP, that the company has earned X amount, 10% of the GP out of the sales.
Hmm.
Now what will happen? A product A has earned, for example, 26% of GP. Product B has earned, for example, 14% of GP.
Okay.
Product C has earned around 8% of GP, and product D has earned around minus 6% of GP, minus 6%.
Okay.
Since you have not maintained your books well,
Hmm.
and you have taken the accounts casually, what will happen now? You didn't know that these all these separate products have earned separately, and one of them is making loss. So we
Hmm.
have to discontinue that product because it
Yeah.
has not been adding any value to
Hmm.
GP. But what will happen? You will analyze the GP as a whole, and as a whole, the GP is positive. So you will keep continue that product as a product which we should sell. So you will keep continuing selling all the 4 products. Now what will happen? After a certain amount of time, this product which is not been yielding any profit, even adding losses to the company,
Hmm.
will be a major product, and then your profit will keep shrinking
Hmm.
as a company as a whole, and in the future it may generate a loss also.
Definitely.
So at that point of time, you will understand that yes, if I would have made the books properly, and if
Hmm.
I would have assessed the books properly, financials properly, then I would have known that this product is not for our purpose. This product is not adding any value to our business. So we would have discontinued that product at the early stage. So that's why at the early stages of the business, and at any point of time, financial recording is very important, and don't take it casually. It is the most important thing in your business. As far as sale is concerned, it controlling finance of this those sale is the most important thing.
So, sir, how does a bad bookkeeping impact in the business?
I've already told you the example.
Mm,
Bad bookkeeping. What happens with bad bookkeeping? You report wrong transactions to the government. Also, you
mm,
report wrong transactions to yourself. First of all, you report your wrong transactions to
mm,
yourself, so
uh,
you don't know the actual profit of the business. You are just
correct.
running a profit. Just by example, yes, we are growing. It may be possible you are also growing your liabilities of the banks and all that.
Mm,
So you think, yeah, that I do have the stock of 10 crores, just assuming.
uh,
We, since bookkeeping is not proper, you don't know the actual stock. You
mm,
think 6 crores debtors are there, 16 crore, 3 crores I have to give to for the market, 13 crores, so I do have 13 crores of the asset. It
mm,
may be possible you have taken the loan for that, bank loans have been increased, or maybe your realizable debtors are not 3 crores, it is 1 crore. It may be possible that your the stock which you are valuing as 10 crore, it may be not possible that you can fetch that 10 crore for that stock. It may fetch 6 crore, 4 crore, 5 crore. So whenever you do have the bad bookkeeping, na, you first of all are making fool of yourself,
correct.
not, no one else.
Mm,
And then you are fooling government, then you are fooling bankers, all these stakeholders, owners, investors, and who will believe on those books which are not well maintained? Like, I will, if even at the school time we have been taught that even if we are submitting a simple project, school project,
mm,
that has to be well presented, well maintained, the next
correct.
index should be there,
Mm,
everything should be there, and you are doing a business of such quantum, and not, you are not maintaining your proper book of account. Do you think anybody will invest in that business? Anybody is interested in that business? Even why government will not ask why you are not doing any tax evasion or tax avoidance? So I believe it is like maintaining the sanity of the business is very much dependent on maintaining the sanity of the finances.
So, sir, moving on the next question, and I think it is the most important question for all the entrepreneurs. The question is: many entrepreneurs fall into debts early. Why does this happen?
See, what happens with most entrepreneurs is like, nah, they think that their product is the best thing they have developed in their life.
Mm,
They've evolved something which is not going to get over this market.
uh,
So it is like when they don't have the trust with that product, they think that they will sell this product and they will get crores of arabs of rupees out of this, millions and billions out of it. So that happens with most entrepreneurs, that they at the early stage of the product ideation, they invest like anything, that they think that the company should be fancy, 25 people should be there, marketing customer acquisition cost should be there. So I think that is the most important thing for creating companies. And because of this thing, what happens with them now, they overspend, and they overspend, that's why they take a debt. They think now once they will burn all these things, the burn culture in this entrepreneurship, na, startup culture has taken all the things from out of this. So what happens with most entrepreneurs, they take loan from the market and they invest in the customer acquisition, they invest in the marketing, they make a big team, and the product is in the ideation stage. The product have four stages. One is ideation, another thing is ideation, after ideation, creation. Once it has been created, it is like mature, evolution of the product. Once it has been created, now it
mm,
will be evolved, and further it is matured. So what happens with most people is like they invest most of their money in the ideation stage or creation stage,
mm,
but funds are required when the product has been evolved or created after the certain part of creation, and when when the market should be pitched in, when there should be a great amount of cost involved in the marketing of those product when the product has been evolved. And that's why they get into that trap. And that is the most dangerous trap for all the startups, entrepreneurs, those who are budding entrepreneurs. Because what will happen, you spend all your energies, all your debts which you can use in future for the development of that product, for the development of that market. Now once your product has not been rolled and you go into the market, you cannot penetrate into the market, and then you burn that money.
mm,
So I believe the most important part where the money should be invested for the entrepreneurs who are budding entrepreneurs, SMEs or startups, they should focus on the product part. Where their product is in the evolution stage, then they should invest the money in that phase, and then at that point of time they should evolve. They should try and think about what is the valuation of the company, and if they can get the money out of the market from the investors, then they can pitch in from the investor. If they are not getting, then at that point they can think of the debt. But at the early stages of their business, if they are taking the debt, that is a dangerous thing to do, and that is the most effective thing you can, most defective thing you can do with your business.
Correct. So, sir, how can these entrepreneurs avoid this financial trap?
See, I believe, as I've already told, you must be aware about your business.
Hmm.
If you are creating any business, the business understanding should be very clear. If you don't have the clear understanding of your business, what will happen now? You get into the trap where you think you have to get into the market, but just by seeing the other products which have been evolving around your company, other products which have been evolving around in the market, so you get into the trap that this company has started this product and they have now penetrated so much in the market just by marketing, customer acquisition cost or whatsoever. But before that product has become successful in the market, they must have evolved that product. The product must have been evolved, and they have invested, then they have invested in the customer acquisition or marketing or whatsoever you can say. So at that point they have been correct in doing that, and they have been successful just because they get into the market at that point of time when the product has been evolved. But with you must understand, yes, whether your product has evolved or not. If it is not evolved, your customer base is not going to work for you because the product has not even evolved.
Hmm.
So that is the trap where the company gets into, and I believe that trap can only be handled through a proper planning. You should be very much decided about when the product will get evolved, when these features will be up. I believe that product has evolved itself, and that is a saleable product. And once the product is saleable, then only you go to the market. Otherwise, it will not be going to get the maximum market penetration. One of the example is Fool, which is started its operation from Kanpur.
Hmm.
What they have done, they have found out that these flowers have been wasted in all the ghats of the Banaras
Hmm.
and Kanpur. So they started the business from those flowers, from the waste to the purposeful product, Dubatti and all that. So at the early stage, they have developed some products, but they don't have the saleable products which can get into the market. Now you believe they have also come to the Shark Tank. So at the initial stages, they haven't taken any funding. Once they have evolved with that product, they
Hmm.
start taking funding.
Hmm.
And once their product is at the evolution and maturity, so now all the gift hampers and all the things are coming from Fool only.
Yeah.
So now at this stage, they are very much evolved, and so they can take the market debt also if they are taking, and they don't even need that. They'll get the good market valuation. So you have to understand one thing: once your product is marketable and it is saleable. One of the definition we have read in excise.
Hmm.
For excise to be applicable, the product should be marketable, and it same lies with your business also. Once सरकार भी कहती है हम टैक्स ड्यूटी तब लेंगे जब मार्केटेबल है, सेलेबल है प्रोडक्ट, तो हम आपसे पैसा ले लेंगे. एंड
Exactly.
सेम लाइज विथ योर, तुम भी बैंक के पास पैसा मांगने जब जाओ, तो अब जब मार्केटेबल हो जाए तो प्रोडक्ट इट इज सेलेबल, देन ओनली यू गो इनटू द मार्केट.
So, sir, according to you, what is the correct time should a first-time business hire a CA or financial advisor?
See, whenever you're starting your business, now, whenever you're born, you have found that the doctor is necessary. So whenever you think you're starting your business, you should hire a financial consultant for that. See, it's like you running a ship without a captain. Can it be done?
No.
So the same lies with the business. If you running a business without a financial consultant is running a ship without a captain. So whenever you're starting a business, you should have a onboarded financial consultant. At different levels it may change, at different levels it may increase, at different level the team may increase, but you should start with a financial consultant whenever you are starting a business. It may be small, it may be big, it doesn't make any difference. You should have a financial consultant, so you at every stage of time you do have the proper financial consultancy with you.
So, sir, at last, what financial tip you give to the first-time entrepreneurs?
See, I believe the only tip which I give all the entrepreneurs, budding entrepreneurs, is that you first make a project report of your business like you have done in the school. Not a project report which has to be submitted in the bank. It has to be self-evaluation project report, wherein you lie down all the things which is required on during lifetime, or you can say during the development of this product, this this business, you create a project report for that purpose. When we need to, when the product will be created, ideated, created, evolved, it has been matured, how, at what point of time we will scale it up, at what point of time we will penetrate it into market, how will be the distribution strategies, and just pen it down. Once you pan it down, you appoint some consultant. You sit with this for this process, you sit with some consultant who do assess and make the feasibility report of the business. And after this feasibility report, you go into the business and stay small until you figure out what's working for you. That's the most important tip which I have learned from so many of the best of the investors and entrepreneurs who have done the great business. You should stay small until you figured out what's working for you. So that's a simple tip which I want to give to all the budding entrepreneurs and SMEs and startups who want to become a big and unicorn companies.
Okay, so here we are ending our episode of the FinTalk series. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your valuable insight, and I think it will definitely help most of the entrepreneurs who are suffering from the financial mistakes.
Thank you, Akayush. It's been great pleasure for me for to talking to you, which is the most important topics. And today podcast, you have highlighted the most difficult things
Hmm.
in a very easy manner, and I hope this will help all the budding entrepreneurs in a great way.
Thank you, sir.